Hold up. You're now listening to Fresh Out, the world's most dangerous music podcast on the OMG Network and rawcynic.com.
What up?
F to the R to the S to the H to the O to the U to the T. That Fresh Out.
What's up? We back, baby.
Saturday joint, man. We got an extra, Doc.
In the
What's
building.
good? N-word. What's good?
What's going down, y'all?
Hey, just glad to kick it
man.
with y'all. What's good, Black Harlow? Black
Man.
Harlow.
Black
Chilling.
Harlow was good.
Chilling.
Jay Camp.
Chilling. What's good with
Hey,
y'all?
hold on. Now, school everybody what's that drink, man, real quick. Tell them what's going on with the burb tonight.
Oh, I got Basil Hayden in my cup.
Basil
Okay,
Hayden.
Well, I should say my glass. My bad. My glass. You know, we got Basil Hayden cracking over here. It's usually for me, Basil Hayden or 1792 is what I rock with the most. But I am a Woodford fan as well.
All right.
You know, so
Iceberg.
That's usually what I'm rocking.
Iceberg. We
But
see
when
you,
it comes-
baby. We
when it
see
comes
you.
to
Hold
bourbon,
on,
though.
we got a toast real quick. Let me pop
We
mine.
got a
You know what I'm
toast.
saying?
Hold on,
Let's
hold
get a
on.
little toast. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
Get
on,
a little,
hold
you
on,
know,
but
get my
we
joint
can't see
cracking,
your
you know what I'm
liquor
saying?
in there. We can't see it.
Cam,
Oh,
nigga.
y'all niggas tripping.
You know what I'm
That's not even a toast. That's a crumb. You just we gonna take a toast.
Hey,
Pour this crumb.
hold on, man. What we toasting to, y'all, real quick, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead, set it off, J. Camp.
Mother's Day.
Man, we toasting this to Blackstar.
Black
coming back
Star,
out.
okay.
After 20 plus years. That's what we
Let's
toasting
go,
this
man.
We
to.
could do that.
Yeah, you know.
See y'all
Peace,
out there.
peace.
Woo! Lord.
Man.
Whew.
All right, y'all.
Oh,
We
yeah,
in
we
there
ready.
now.
We're ready now, man. Welcome back into the show, Fresh Out, man. The favorite and the best debate show on the planet, Craig.
Mhm.
Indeed, the world.
In the world.
In the world, Craig.
World.
And planet. And
And
First of all,
planet.
galaxy.
Bebo P was good, man. First of all,
All that.
Bebo.
Hey man, living good, great. Shout out to all the mothers out there for the Mother's Day
Absolutely.
weekend that we are
Oh,
embracing.
yeah, shout
like
out to the
J. Camp
moms, dog.
said.
And the baby mamas, too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yep. Baby mamas, single mothers, wives out there.
Mamas,
Your girlfriend and the wife on the
mamas.
side.
Mhm.
And like J. Camp said, shout out to
Man, that-
Blackstar, for that release, wonderful
Mhm.
release. I know we're going to talk about Iceberg real quick. Was good.
That suspect
Hey, man,
picture, though.
enjoying
It's
the
still-
Saturday, man. Enjoying you guys, man. Pause.
Pause.
Enjoying this drinkity drink, you know what I'm saying, on this Saturday night, man.
No
If you're
doubt.
living, you need to enjoy it, man. If you can call your mom, Dukes, your grandma, your aunties, the ladies down the street to help raise you, call them, text them, man. Tell them that you
Absolutely.
appreciate them, man, because we wouldn't be the men we are without those women, man. You got to have both. You got to have the swag, you got to have
Absolutely.
the masculinity, but you got to have the femininity too, man, and just the nurturing that you get from really dope moms and women that
Yep.
are in your life, man. So salute to all the women out there that
Salute,
even if you
salute.
didn't have no kid, if you helped raise one, man, we appreciate you, man. So
Mhm.
again,
We
the
love
toast
y'all.
is to y'all too, you know what I'm saying, to the mothers out there too.
We love
Some
you.
grandmothers out there raising kids.
Man,
so,
making them cookies
man,
and boo, man, you know what I'm
we
saying?
salute all of y'all.
All of them,
Anybody,
like Jack Camp
any
said.
Cheesemakers, doc.
lady
Grandma.
that's taking care of a child. It may not even be your child, maybe somebody else's child. But if you're
Yeah,
taking care
mother-like
of them
figure. Right,
and,
right.
and you raising them,
Yep.
salute.
Yeah.
Everybody had one, man. You know what I'm saying? Mama Dukes can't do it all by herself. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying? So,
And sometimes she does, though. Sometimes she does.
Sometimes she
Come on,
does,
Mom,
but
for that.
typically it does take a village.
Oh yeah, it does take a village. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just trying to cover all the fronts.
No, I got you.
Let's celebrate the
Man.
women, and this is why we had to talk about Missy today. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be up in the show again. If you like what my guys are doing, man, hit the Cash App, Fresh Out Show, man. We got to keep this thing rolling. If you love us, definitely hit the Cash App, man. Again, LB the Power Father. You're gonna see him on Wednesday, man. You know how we hold it down. Gotta give a little drinkity drink for LB the Power Father.
Peace
Absolutely.
to Podfather.
Peace to the
You know
pod.
what I mean?
The Podfather.
Potty
But man,
piper.
that crystal too, B-Ball. I like that,
Oh,
man.
you got
Oh,
that,
good looking. No, you know we
you
got
got a scotch. You got a scotch glass,
Yeah,
bro.
that's a Scotch
Like
boy, man.
you don't win real
Oh,
classy.
yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
See. Now, y'all thought we was playing games on this first topic, huh? Oh, y'all thought we was names on this first topic. Okay.
Well, this thing, the first topic, man, we got to talk about my guy Kevin Samuels, man.
Okay.
Black man, father, black culture, advocator, man, Kappa Alpha Psi,
Shout
he's a
out to
nuke,
them
you know what I'm
Nukes.
saying? Shout out to the nukes, man, with them
Peace to the
shoulder
Nukes.
rolls, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just wanted to give our shout out to Kevin Samuels, man.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what side you're on with Kevin, man, he's a black man, and at the end of the day, man, we salute our black men, and definitely our fallen soldiers, man. And just wanted y'all's quick thoughts on this, man. Just real quick, and we'll kind of talk about this a little bit later, but just real quick, what's your thoughts on Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, just real quick. I mean, again, regardless of how you feel about Kevin, like you said, I know he's definitely polarizing. But if you actually listen to what he says, there is some truth in there. And usually the truth is always in the middle. So I rock with Kevin, man. He's put me up on game, whether it was something I agree with what he said, or whether it's something I didn't realize, and he kind of like brought that to light. So I appreciate his contribution to the culture, his contribution to trying to educate, again, regardless of how you feel about the man, regardless of what side you on. There really shouldn't be a side. We should always be able to come to the table and listen to what somebody has to say. That's the reason why there's so much dissension in this world now, because people fail to come to the table. Like if your brain is already, if you already have a preconceived notion about whatever the topic is, that means you're not willing to listen. And at least Kevin Samuels was willing to listen. He brought people of the opposing viewpoint on his show. He was willing to listen. Yeah. And sometimes his mind was changed, but he was still on there educating with what he firmly believed in. He didn't call anybody an idiot or you a dummy or you stupid, nothing like that. It was more so, for me, he was educated. But go ahead, Bebo. I don't want to dive too deep into it.
No, that was wonderfully said. And
drop a bomb for J Camp.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop a bomb for J Camp and drop a bomb for Kevin Samuels as well. Rest
Absolutely.
in peace. First and foremost, though, on behalf of Fresh Out, we want to send a heartfelt, heartfelt condolences to his mother, daughter, other family members and loved ones that personally knew him.
Facts.
May God provide you all with the warm-headed support that you all need in these tough times. As it's tough for any parent to outlive their child or children. No parent wishes that at all. And
on Mother's Day weekend too.
On Mother's Day, correct. On Mother's Day weekend. So they've really got to be feeling it. We feel for his mother that found out on social media as opposed to the medical professionals.
Man, that's
not the hospital. And
hate that.
I know, man. And Kevin was loved by a lot of people, and they, he loved them back. But like J Camp alluded to, regardless of whatever viewpoint that you had, he was a black man, and he was about the progression of people, just empowering people, namely black people, and was a strong advocate for black heterosexual men and just black men, period. But really just people to do better and progress in their personal and professional lives and relationships. So with that said, I'll just kind of cap it right there. Iceberg, send it home, brother.
No, man. Hey, this thing, man. I think I found Kevin about maybe 2-3 years ago, and the dude was just spitting fire, man. And the thing I take away from Kevin Samuels is he taught black men to value ourselves.
He
because
did.
A lot of times, man, we don't understand our value, even when it comes to our women. You know what I'm saying? Well, we do things for them and we don't get anything in return. So I think that's where that whole what do you bring to the table and understanding your value comes from. And then also that he taught black men that we need to be the head of our household, even if it hurts our women sometimes, to let them understand that, hey, man, this is not old school thinking. This is what it is. It's biblical principles. So it's kind of funny you have Christian people saying that they didn't like him when it's either spitting biblical principle. So
and that's when people want to hear what they want to hear. And just to kind of echo what both of you brothers said, he advocated for the heterosexual black male, men in general, but definitely he felt that the heterosexual black male was an endangered species, just like
he did.
We are,
just like I feel too.
We are the number one endangered species.
Number one,
exactly. And it's very important that we raise our young men, our young ones, up to be upstanding gentlemen, and live by the principles not only in the Bible, but that our fathers before us, you know what I'm saying, was walking by too. I'm talking about the Martins, you know, all the strong foundational black men that we kind of know of and that we've respected over time.
On your shirt, man.
Those guys, you know what I'm saying, and do it with class, you know what I'm saying, do it without fear,
class.
You know what I'm saying, without fear of failure.
Fear, class.
That's basically what this dude was about.
Well, the other thing too, man, is the news outlets were saying, you know, self-claimed this, and he hated black women. He loved black women.
Crazy.
He loved black culture.
See, that's just disrespectful.
I think, to me, I love the fact that, you know, even though his body's not here, the message is. And then I think when people go back and watch some of the videos, he has about 700 of them. When you go back and watch them, man, you'll literally understand. If you
840 from my last count.
If you were just getting the World Star clips, I can understand why you're upset. But I think if you take some time to go back and listen to what he's saying, man, you'll see why when he died or when he passed, that this is big news because of the message they have. Anyway, salute to Kevin, man, his family, his mom and his daughter, all the men and the women that he touched when he was on this earth, man. Again, a black man. And then it's crazy, 2 years ago, everybody was crying for George Floyd, a black man, that his past was very questionable. But then we're over here hating on another black man 2 years later by saying that, you know, he didn't do things for the black culture. He did a lot. So anyway, salute to Kevin, man. We just want to give you flowers, man, just like anybody else. And also Joel's, man, from Death Row, man.
Right.
Absolutely,
man.
Yeah,
absolutely. And if you haven't seen her talk, man, go to Art of Dialogue. She just did some videos over there about 2 weeks ago, and she's got some great stories, man. Check them out.
She do. And I do want to say too, before we move on, just salute to George Floyd too. I know we brought his name up. There was no shade to him at all.
Yeah, no shade.
More so just kind of, you know, just saying.
Yeah. The whole point of it is, man, is all black men come from different things in life, man. But at the end of the day, man, we are public enemy number one, man. So we deal with a lot. So if anything, man, just like we support the women, man, support our moves and how we do and how we progress in life, because everybody can change.
And though the man in flesh has passed away, the message that he still left by way of legacy, like J Camp was just saying, it still lives on.
It still lives on.
Speaking of living on, man, this dude is out of jail, man. Bebo P's favorite guy, man, Isaiah Lee, the attacker of Dave Chappelle. I gotta get y'all's question on this real quick. This is why this is a quick topic, man. Like, first of all, we saw him attack Dave Chappelle on stage.
So why is it not enough to charge him? I don't understand.
But it's not enough to charge him with a felony charge. Do you think this is because of the black fingernails and maybe a group that he might be associated with, especially in Hollywood? And if you look at his sweater, he has the Hollywood burning on there. So is that, I'm putting the kufi on at 1308. Do you think there's something with this? Because technically, if this was me, I'd be locked up with everything thrown at the book. They'd be throwing the book at me, man. What's your thoughts on this?
You can go ahead, J Camp, unless you.
Oh man, it's such a loaded question. I have so many thoughts.
Put the cool
go ahead, because I really need to get my thoughts together so I can.
No, it's all good.
I won't sound like a pure hater. That's what.
No, you're right. There is a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unwind, like this guy in this picture. But I mean, just really this is mad sus as predicted this past Wednesday on our show at that time frame when Dave's attacker was miraculously able to position himself to really just pile drive Dave on stage a few nights, again, at that spot.
Front.
Yeah. And this was, right before the attacker, Isaac Lee, I think the name is, aka John Lewis Good Trouble beat down came of his, perhaps times 2 or 3. He got that Good Trouble beat down. But
he got that tap dance.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He got that work, as we said on Wednesday too.
Mm-hmm.
But now, from that, as you just said, now we have, I think the guy's name is George Gaskin. He's the DA of Los Angeles. Essentially he's protecting this guy by refusing to pursue felony charges. And that's just not by happenstance. The LA, police department.
You said it better than
no
me.
disrespect, but they've been suspect for quite some time. And when you see something like this doesn't help to encourage, necessary charges that need to be placed. Now, Dave was reportedly upset, and rightfully so. So he asked to reconsider giving Isaac those charges, but chances are nothing's going to happen in that regard, at least not at this point. But we'll, at the end of the day, we'll see. And I know some comedians and even club owners, I think there was that same report had said were pretty upset at the fact that even J Camp's favorite Massa slash what was it, Joe Rogan,
Rogan's N-word,
right?
My N-word, brother.
No, but I mean, all of them were rightfully upset because, and I can understand why, especially if you're a comedian, and a club owner, because that's business.
We don't want this to start trending. Affected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was just about to say that.
Go. No, you could take off right there. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to kind of like tag in on that. And what I'm about
to
say is going to be apples to oranges.
No,
but to me,
good.
This is like them cats that stormed the Capitol.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Put the goof on, man.
You know what I'm saying? I got to put the kufi on because you said it, Iceberg. If you was the dude who did that, you will be done. And all Dave is doing is stating his opinion on how he feels in a comedic way.
Right. And he did it very respectfully too.
He did it very respectfully. And this dude felt so empowered to do that. That's why I said, to me, it reminds me of what them cats did at the Capitol, because of what another man is saying. Because you agree with someone else's rhetoric. Whereas this guy disagrees with Dave Chappelle, but there's a way to disagree.
Well, hold on, J.K. Do you think he did this by himself, or do you think he was a part of a group?
I don't think so either.
And that's what I said last week. Well, earlier this week,
this past Wednesday,
said that I felt he had help, like there was like some type of inside man. First of all, they let him in, and he's up front. He didn't have to travel very far to give him that Goldberg spear. He didn't have to travel very far at all. Right. And the fact that he infringed on this man's right as an entertainer, how's this dude not getting charged? Like, there has to be someone protecting him. Like Iceberg said, when you put the kufi on, it's like, this dude should not be protected, just like them people that stormed the Capitol should be protected. Because you're doing
and the great point, J Camp. We know too that or at least we've got the buzz that there's let's just say that there's a certain contingent that owns where this guy's address is, because when he got arrested, he was found to have been a homeless shelter resident, so to speak. So
why would somebody who's homeless be willing to do this unless he's given some type of incentive?
Correct. And you know what? It makes me, and it makes me think about the guy who wrongfully killed Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think there was a
bomb, man.
Yeah, I think he was put in an institution of some sort that has been known to. Well, I won't go into it, but like for the most part, it's a situation where basically, long story short, you haven't heard anything about the guy.
Has he even been like convicted?
That's the thing. We don't know, and chances are the answer might be no. So like J Camp was saying, whenever stuff like this happens, and it's definitely not the first time that the Nipsey situation happened and this Dave Chappelle situation happened, to where somebody got off, it just raises questions that are founded to be credible.
It raises questions, and it's enablement. You know what I'm saying?
It is
this enables the next idiot to do the same thing that this guy did because he disagrees with somebody.
So let me ask you guys this: based on what happened via this update of Isaac Lee not getting charged with the felony or any, the charges that are deserved, what moves or steps do you think that Dave Chappelle should take moving forward here at this point?
That's a good question too, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
he definitely needs. He's in a tough spot. Not only does he need assurance from club owners, city security, all that stuff, but he needs assurance from leadership that if something like this happens again, these people will be rightfully arrested, rightfully held accountable. Because
Right.
basically, this guy's not being held accountable for something
No,
that he could have
no.
killed Dave if he wanted
Well,
to. He got his
let
hands
me
on
ask you
him,
this
so he
question.
could have killed him.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this question: why do you think Dave didn't press no charges?
Well, I think that he believed that charges were already going to be pressed since that it was a clear-cut situation.
I would sue the city.
I would too. I would too. Especially since he's from an upset standpoint, but still respectfully has, requested that, hey, we're going to need for charges to be pressed, or otherwise, that puts me and others like me in a dangerous position as I continue to move forward in my profession.
The question is how do you basically make a hate crime off of somebody who's from that group?
Well, I thought the law states that it doesn't matter, that affiliation, skin tone, if it's in the essence of hate, then it's supposed to be considered a hate crime. At least that's what I was told when I was at Vincennes when it happened to me. Not that I was speared, but I had a hate crime against me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was told.
Go ahead, Iceberg. What was you going to say?
Well, my thing is just like the Asian cats have the hate bill against blacks that may do something to them when they're actually working in their neighborhoods. Obviously we know that this may continue as Dave and Busta Rhymes go out on tour. You may start getting more of this, and you know how some of the people from that group are. They basically feel like they're protected by a law that they can go out and do these things.
Well, I will say in places like Florida, they really aren't.
Right. But you're talking about again that metaphor of apples and oranges when you're talking about states and or rather cities and states. So
exactly. But that's why I mentioned leadership. When I say leadership, like city government would have to make sure that people like Dave Chappelle, other than that, the venues in their city is going to lose money.
And that's why the club owners are mad in the article that is stated. And I think personally that Dave Chappelle, I believe I read that when the initial incident happened, Dave Chappelle had talked to security or about the increased provision of security right before this happened, like maybe hours before. I believe that's what had happened. So I think really the odds are kind of stacked against Dave from a legislative standpoint at this time, just because of certain political, provisions that benefit other groups. No shade or disrespect. It's
no.
Dave's just gonna have
I get where you're going.
Right. It's just that Dave's going to have to really just, at least from what I can tell, Dave and his ilk are really just going to have to continue to, move in accordance
to the beef up
circumstances.
You got to beef up the security, but I will also say just to counter that, Bebo P, is that
go ahead.
Dave and guys like him can easily elect not to perform in those states or in those cities.
Because just like Stevie Wonder did.
Those venues depend on that revenue.
Right.
So when it comes down to it, if the city ain't making no money because of the entertainment dollars, they're not getting entertainment dollars.
No, I agree.
They'll change any provision. There's somebody in there whose lobbyists come from that venue sector, where that guy who owns that venue is like, look, man, I'm pumping in 20 million. You know what I'm saying? To do your due diligence.
Well, this situation just sounds strategic because it's almost like it's setting precedents for every other show. Hey, LGBTQ community.
That too.
If you don't feel like, if you want to stand up for people like Dave, then go out there and show him, when he comes to your city, that he can't say those things about us. It is basically fear mongering other people to do certain things when he comes to your town.
Well, go ahead.
They did in D. I was just gonna say it's the same thing they did in DC with Iceberg.
Well, and I think based on those drivers, I think that this is where Dave could possibly, and I want to quote possibly, exercise his leverage of the benefit that it is for him to perform in certain locations and areas. Because if he doesn't, like for example, I mentioned the fact that he essentially contributed to saving Netflix by keeping their head above water financially and via the stock market. At least that's what via
that's the rumor.
Right, that's the rumor. So couple that with how many seats he's selling out there in California at that I forgot the stadium,
the Hollywood Bowl.
It's like 16, maybe 18,000. I want to say that it is the maximum capacity. So this is where I think he could exercise leverage in certain locations, not just California, but other places.
He can.
Yeah, because he's not just a rinky-dink comedian, and diss to the novice.
And that's where I was going with it too, Bebo, because
go ahead.
People are going to follow suit. Other entertainers will. They're going to be like, oh, if Dave ain't doing it, I ride with Dave. I ain't doing it either. So imagine like music artists, and because in Hollywood, they all follow each other, especially when it's like something that's for if it's for the cause, maybe, like you said. But I do see some other people following Dave and say, nah, I ain't performing.
Oh, yeah. People will ride for Dave. It's almost like
because they understand that you're going to do it to Dave, you're going to end up doing it to me.
Doing it to me, exactly. People aren't done when it comes to that, to like where their life might be in jeopardy. Because how many artists do we know where there's some people out there who don't rock with you because you might have been beefing with their favorite artists? It gives them incentive to do something.
You know what
I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. It does. And, I'm sure that Dave Chappelle is thinking about all of the things that we're talking about and then some.
That's when Stan is real. That's when
absolutely. And based on that, it's funny that we just got done talking about Mr. Samuels, because that was an individual that society was not able to cancel via cancel culture, and same situation here. So it's our hope and wishes that Dave is exercising strategic thoughts and, formulating whatever it takes in order for all parties, not just him, but of course all parties. And I'm sure he's doing that in his own way and capacity to make sure that everybody's safe in the goals that are being exercised from him and his ilk.
Well, and let's be clear, like you said in the last live, this situation could have went way different. That little knife would have hit any part of skinny old Dave Chappelle.
And that's how we know that people like the culture that tries to push that agenda, they're very reactive. It would have took Dave to get stabbed and be on life support for them to see the light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they also don't like taking L's either.
They don't like taking L's.
Because this guy didn't succeed in.
But if he did succeed, that's when they would have distanced themselves from that dude.
They would have.
Right. Yeah,
burn him to the ground.
Yeah. They would have.
He was that dude in the plane when Bang was like, hey, we got to have one to go down with the plane. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yes, the fire.
Yeah, the fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll see what's going on, man. But shout out to Dave and shout out to
Dave, man.
Busta Rhymes, man. And we're all praying that you have a great, successful tour over the summer, man. Because we want to see it, man, be successful, so other people can copy that and get their money on.
Y'all go out and check out that Netflix is a no joke. If there's still time left to do so, that
please do so.
But then also like Iceberg Slim was just saying, check out that Dave and Busta's when that tour takes too, and shout out to all parties involved with those tours.
Iceberg, the words for that ticker too at the bottom.
Well, since you were talking about jokes, man, we got to talk about Jack Harlow.
Oh man, you just doing my guy like Paul.
We got to talk. First of all, this is Jay Camp's protege. You know what I'm saying? He groomed him.
Stop.
Louisville, Kentucky's finest. You know what I'm saying?
And if I groomed him, their production would have been sounding like that.
Colonel Sanders Jr. But this is the thing. Jay Camp was, first of all, let's be clear. Jack Harlow can spit.
He can rap.
He can rap.
I was
but
hurt.
I think with the whole, let's try to maxim like that. He's pretty much almost like the male version of Meg Thee Stallion, right? Where you're trying to give him hits so he can sell products. So they've already connected him with Yum and Kentucky Fried Chicken and all that stuff. Oh, my fault, KFC. Can't say fried. Right. But they're trying to make him the next superstar. And you were saying a lot of dope stuff in the group chat, J. Camp. First of all, like I said, KY native, he's from your area, from your city. What's your thoughts just on Jack Harlow? Not necessarily the album, but his trajectory, where you think he's going, and why do you think they're trying to make him this boombastic next rap star?
Well, obviously, I think Jack Harlow is headed for superstardom as long as he doesn't end up in jail. As long as he didn't just fumble the bag like permanently.
Like he did in nightclub.
Exactly. As long as he don't do that, that dude is
Yeah.
heading for superstardom without a shadow of a doubt. Now that I've kind of got that out of the way, like you said, Iceberg, Jack can actually rap. It's disrespectful to him as an artist what the labels are doing to him.
Fact.
Because they trying to make him a Caucasian Drake. It's basically
Drop
what
a
they're
bomb
trying
for
to do.
Jay Camp. He said that in the group chat.
Drake has been with this cat for a minute. I almost feel like Drake is passing the torch to him almost. Like, not saying that Drake is like, he's going to retire. What I mean by pass the torch, like, yeah, young man, you're now in the club. You know what I'm saying? You down. Like, I can help you get somewhere. Like, when I'm done, you got it. You got the mantle. So I almost feel like Jack is now, to use a Star Wars reference, he's the Padawan of Drake. They try to make him a white Drake, though. Basically, is what they're doing. Like you said, Iceberg, they feeding him all the Megan Thee Stallion type of production. You know what I'm saying? They're giving him all that. He's doing music with your A-listers now in the rap game. So he's been on every single major media outlet.
Jay Camp, hold on. They
album.
gave him a Static Major hook.
Yeah.
Why would you waste a Static Major hook on Jack Harlow?
Bro, because that label got a bag and they gave it to, you know what I'm saying, Static's people, and they accepted it like I would, like any of us would. I would.
Don't get me wrong, that song's banging though, but like it could have been
banging.
so much doper with somebody else on it.
It could have been so much better. And that's why I said this is the disrespectful part to Jack. It's almost like Jack Harlow should have been signed to J. Cole's label. He should have been signed there because that's more of his lane as far as like how he is as a rapper, kind of like his delivery, his style. Because like I said, Duke can flow, man. He's gonna be like what Podfather
can
said.
Spit.
He can spit. And right now they puppeteering him. And that's the sad part. And I hate it. That makes me hurt, not only as him being somebody from my hometown, because we've never had anyone blow up like this since Muhammad Ali, really. Muhammad Ali is the last. Now, Muhammad Ali's international. What I'm saying is, as far as like trajectory and just boom, like dude came out of nowhere, man. And he's like at the top of the heap right now. Not saying he's the best rapper, not at all, but he's gonna break records. He's gonna break a lot of streaming records.
That First Class record is going heavy right now.
It's going heavy, man. And it's probably his worst record, his worst album, but it's going heavy. So, but but as a citizen of that city, we haven't had anybody with this type of credibility since Jack Harlow. And ESTG is from the same city. The singer, what's dude's name? Bryson Tiller is also from the same city.
Bryson fell off.
And Bryson fell off.
Well, this is the thing. I'm gonna ask you this though. I saw Jack, or I think you sent it in the group chat too. I saw Jack Drake at the Kentucky Derby. Was that strategic?
Yes, it was.
I think so.
I always feel Drake moves now are strategic. He's in that Jay-Z stratosphere where everything he does has strategy behind it. Because to me, Drake just released that diss track or that verse on Jack Harlow's album, going at Pusha. So to me, it's like Drake pulling Jack Harlow into the beef. He's like, hey, so if Pusha now comes out with some bars, he's probably gonna mention Jack now just on the side because he got to.
But then also it gives Jack's album some juice because people will go to his album and stream that verse to hear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very strategic. Or
that's why I said
it might be about Pusha T on your album, so that way people can listen to it. You'll get a little love off of it.
And that's what I was saying. So Drake getting Jack Harlow's name mentioned in the Pusha diss, because Pusha's coming out with the diss track, even though he said he was done.
He said he
with
ain't, but yeah.
Come on now, he ain't done with that. He coming back out. He heard that, so now Jack's gonna get another spin off that. So it was strategic. That's why I said, to me, I feel like Jack is his Padawan right now because they even went to Turks and Caicos together on vacation. They've been spending a lot.
Very
Pause.
sus. Very
They've been
Diddy
spending a
sus.
lot of time together.
Sus
it just
daddy.
sounds like to me, Jack is being set up to be the next Drake and the white Drake.
He's being groomed.
So he has a different, even different sector of fan base now.
His features showed it with having Justin Timberlake, Drake, Lil Wayne, and then Pharrell on the joint.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see the Backstreet Boys. He do a cut with them too, because 2 of them cats is from Kentucky as well. So I'm telling you, man, this dude is being set up.
Jack Harlow and
yeah, and
98 Degrees and Young
exactly.
Exactly.
That I can see that tour though. Like Iceberg is hitting it.
Bebo, what you think about Bushy Top, man?
Hey man, I think
Jay Campbell.
I think Black Harlow was on it about Jack Harlow, bro, to the nines.
Yeah, Black Harlow.
That Black Harlow's on it with that Jack Harlow to the nines as El the Podfather.
That sound like a porn star. And now featuring Black Harlow. Long 10, 12-inch steel. DVD, straight to DVD.
Right.
Oh man.
No, but first of all,
Black Harlow and Harley Quinn.
They both
Black Harlow does Louisville.
They look alike, man.
Right.
Black Harlow does Louisville. Are you feeling Are you feeling Jack Harlow in any format, Bebo?
Be honest.
Take a sip first.
Like give it to him.
Take this last sip right here.
Take a last sip, man, and fill it back up.
Because I will give you my response to you. Because I had to just talk to some family today. We had a group text in the family. So I gave my opinion, but go ahead, Bebo. You probably agree with me. Basically,
I do agree with you. I was going to essentially say the same things. I think that you've been more experienced in your exposure to Jack Harlow than I have, given that this is my one and only album of his that I've ever heard, and to hear and to hear that the guy is. Yeah, dun dun dun, and to hear that this guy is just this album, this latest album in 2022 sounds like Drake. I'm like, okay, Drake.
Nigga got body by Pusha T.
Right.
Oh man, I think it is a possible setup for a transition to take place. I mean, all we could do is ultimately speculate, but I don't think it's far-fetched at all. The album itself, great production quality.
Great production.
But again, everything about it is Drake.
Certified Lover Boy.
Certified Lover Boy. The title even the title of Harlow's album sounds like something Drake would name his.
It sounds exactly like it, bro. Exactly.
The beats sound like Drake's. The cadence and the way that Jack delivered his lyrics sound like Drake. Everything sounds like Drake.
Everything.
So,
everything.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like a possible, Meg Thee Stallion, kind of push in its beginning stage from a mainstream level or on a mainstream level. So, I mean, we'll just have to see how things go with Curly Top, but as far as my impressions of the quality of the project, yeah, the quality is there, from a mixing, mastering standpoint and all that.
Caliber,
and the beats and the beats are there, as far as like the, some of them sounding like right, but it's just, anytime I hear a doppelganger, so to speak, of somebody, wow. I can't really give them my respect like that. So that's just where I stand. But J Camp, you can respond, since you have more experience on this subject.
No, absolutely. And that's what I was basically telling my family. I was like, this is the worst Jack Harlow album I've ever heard.
Look, as I do this,
fill it back up, my G.
Yeah.
Fill it back up.
It's the what album? It's the what album, J Camp?
I said it's the worst Jack Harlow album I've ever heard. I said it's straight garbage. If there's anything in your garbage right now, you can zip it up and take it out to the dumpster. That's how I felt about
zip it up
album.
Take it to the dumpster.
You can zip it up and take it to the dumpster. Like there was nothing about it that was appealing to me because, like you said, it sounded too much like Drake, and that's
It did.
disrespectful to Jack Harlow
Mad sus
as a
and
rapper.
disrespectful.
That's why I'm not mad at Jack. I'm blaming the label for allowing
Okay.
this crapola to happen.
Right.
I get it because that's what they're trying to push him in that lane. I get it, and I understand the young cats, the 17 to 25-year-olds, is probably loving this album. I get it. I probably sound like Get Off My Line. I get it. But again, I've heard this dude freestyle. You know what I'm saying? On Sway show. He was killing. He was killing. He was on the what they call it, the hyena joint, whatever freestyle joint that Sway does on Friday. Jack Harlow was on there spitting, bro. Pause.
Okay.
He was rapping. So this is classic record label plant, like Mike 100 said. That's what this is. They trying to make him the clean version of Eminem. Do
you think, like, we had Kenny G with the jazz joint. We had Soulja, the little reggae white group.
Yeah. I can't say Phil. Don't say Phil Collins though, because he was
no. I mean, we mess with Phil, but Phil was doing like soft rock though. He wasn't doing no hip hop.
Yeah.
But this thing, when have they had another
Macklemore? Don't forget Macklemore when he won the Grammys. And
there you go. J. Kim's got
Post Malone too.
Yeah. What was it? I think it was in 14, or I forgot when that was, but
and Post Malone too.
Right,
Post Malone. Yeah.
They haven't had a white hope rapper in a while, and they're putting him in the reboot to White Men Can't Jump.
Exactly. That was going to be the next thing that I was going to talk about too. So they trying their hardest. They're trying so hard. They had him sitting front row at the Celtics game. That's as white can get. So they trying to make him cool at the Celtics game. I mean, their logo is a Lucky Charm. I mean, that
oh, you talking about Royal Mal, my nigga?
Yes, I am.
Wow,
dang, a nigga body.
Yeah.
No, but we'll just have to see how things transpire with this whole Jack Harlow push. I think J. Camp did a very exquisite job and really just laying out the details and complexities of the situation. And
let's be clear.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm happy for Jack.
Yeah, we didn't hate on Jack, man.
Yeah,
we love Jack Harlow. We love Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Morgan.
Oh yeah,
Kentucky,
all three of us have been there. All three of us have been there.
You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. And I meant the Thunder. You know how we do it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guy Rome. You know what I'm saying? We represent, man, all day, man. You know what I'm saying? The 270. But
facts.
We see the whitewash coming.
We see it coming.
Let's talk the realness though. Yeah, we gotta talk about some realness, man. Shout out to Mike 100 too, man.
Shout out to Mike 100.
Always holding it down over here. We gotta talk about Missy Elliot, man. One of the pioneers in the game. Wayne was basically asked what his top 5 was. Let's see if y'all agree with his top 5. Number 1. Top 5 was Jay, Biggie, Goody Mob, and UGK. But he had to say, let's be clear. He said Missy was the best as far as like influence, like just like you said, Jay Kim, about the Nicki situation. What's your thoughts on the top 5, on his top 5, but also giving Missy those flowers? I think he's been listening to Fresh Out.
First of all, shout out to Wayne. Wayne has definitely been one of the most influential rappers
and hardest working
of the last 15
years. 20.
I mean, easily. And he's been a rapper since he was like 12, 13 years old. So he was a young pup.
Bling, bling.
Obviously he grew up listening to Missy. I mean, Missy was probably young in her career too, really, when Wayne started rapping. So
yeah,
it's definitely honorable for him to give Missy those type of flowers. So now, is Missy in my top 5? No, but I can definitely understand why somebody would say that. Missy is one of my top 10 favorite artists ever, though, like without a doubt.
Okay.
But would she be in my top 5 hip hop artists? I don't know. I put her in my top 5, probably influential though. Like as far as like people who changed the game.
Okay.
And this thing, her pen is unmatched.
It's nice, and her
nice.
eye for talent is dumb too. So just for that, I mean, Missy's a staple. That's why I don't want to sound like I'm putting Missy down. You know what I'm saying? Because Wayne is a legend. So for Wayne to put her in his top 5, that's big flowers, man.
It is big flowers.
Those are tulips, roses, all that. You know what I'm saying? So
whoa, Mike.
I don't know, Mike 100.
Mike 100's coming in. Drop.
I can't.
I can't.
Hold up. Hey man,
I can't.
You on that bird? What bourbon you on tonight, Mike?
I can't do that, Mike.
Mike 100. You got that moonshine or something, brother?
Man,
what's going on, brother?
I can't.
What you on tonight, Mike?
Man.
I can't either, J Cam. Peace to you, though.
Pen.
Peace to you, and respect to your answer, to your response. But I gotta agree with my guys.
Mike, give us your top 5, Mike. Give us your top 5.
Give us your top 5, Mike. Your top 5 rappers.
Top 5.
Yeah, give it top 5. Bebo, what you thinking?
First I'm with you brothers on that. You know,
I do like his list though. I'm sorry, I do like his list.
Okay, what do you think about the list?
Lil Wayne's list. Yeah.
I wouldn't have UGK in my list either, but I can roll with his list. Like his list is
I can roll with that too.
Like,
I respect.
I wouldn't just like frown at his list. You know what I'm saying? Like some dudes might put like Drake in their top 5, and that's when I'm like N-word, please. You know, that's when I got to say that. But,
the N-word Rogan, please.
Right.
Nah, but I'm right with you again, man. We're tag teaming again, like we always do. If Wayne feels like this about Missy Elliot, who is a legend, let's just be clear about that. Then I certainly don't want to take that away from him. You know, my favorite MC ever is Lauryn Hill, and I know most people disagree with me on that. You know, from back in the days of me saying that and moving forward. So it's all
real
love.
talk though. I have Lauryn over Missy as far as MCs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As far as like rapping,
absolutely. But nonetheless, still, it's all because Missy Elliot is a staple in hip hop. She's a dope
icon.
MC.
I think a lot of people, man, just forget how influential she was on the MTV, on the music videos back when you had the TRL, when you had all that stuff.
The production, everything was
dope.
Her everything was talent.
And everything was innovative. And I think Mike 100 said that too. You know, he used the word innovative, but she's dope. She's
mad at
innovative.
Mike,
she's definitely a legend. She's definitely gonna go down. Yeah, absolutely. She's dope.
Hey, Mike, that's a classic lineup, man.
Again, just like I said about Wayne's list, like Mike 100's list, I would never, ever frown at that.
I don't disrespect anybody's
those
list.
Those are 5 MCs he named that you can't just say them dudes.
Yeah, lists like that or Wayne.
Like you can't
disrespect that.
You can't say his list is whack at all.
No, not at all. Hey, that list is pretty dope. And I will say that, going back to Missy Elliott, she also she basically broadened that landscape of how animated an artist, or really how an artist can really stretch the limits with great sound and unique taste. And not to have and to do so with the disposition, not having to show your body parts. And I'm not disrespecting that for those who have
body positivity, guys.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And we she just did it from an opposite stance of that ilk, saying? So of what you commonly see nowadays. And no disrespect, it's just, she showed, hey, you could be creative and still be dope without necessarily having to do what everybody else is doing. With that and many other things, her albums, just her music, everything else, her work that she's done for other people, she definitely deserves to be, on a list of greats. She might not be our numero uno best, but she's definitely up there on some type of hip hop list. And
the fact that she got
this how you know a female rapper or female artist is dope. The men buy her album and bang the music.
Yep.
Drop a bomb for
a lot of men ain't banging no little. They'll bang little Kim when they're around their girl or something, but they just banging on the whip by itself.
Missy has had collabs.
Missy has that unisex
with some of our
bangers,
favorite artists. She's had collabs with Nas, and man, she had Nas in that shiny suit too. But shout out to Esco.
The Hot Boys joint that he
the Hot Boys
dude.
The Hot Boys remix was
that Big Boy. Can you pay my bills?
Yeah, she's had
joint.
Yeah, she's had collabs with Redman, collabs with Meth. I mean, she's
Hot
had
Boys
collabs
too.
with.
Yep.
She was like that female DJ Khaled, man, in the early 2000s. She had a lot of dope people on the record.
She's had collabs with
Yep.
Busta.
Yep.
Like a lot of our favorite artists she's had collabs with.
And just even that are extensions of that, Missy Timbaland, ilk, Tweet. Let's not forget about her.
And Nicole Ray.
Nicole Ray.
Yep, Nicole Ray. Yep. And you guys can continue to sound off. I'm just trying to.
No, you good.
And let's be clear. In my opinion,
too.
she extended Timbo's archetype as far as who can get some of those beats. You know what I'm saying? Because she would write like a lot of stuff for a lot of artists for hooks and verses on his records, and basically send those off for reference track.
Yeah,
let's be clear.
Mm-hmm. And she's such a creative, because I saw somewhere a few years ago that she's the type of artist that needs her time in her own space whenever she's writing and laying something down. And just to hear something like that, everybody has their own creative space, but for her team and her label to allow her to do that at that time, to allow her to exercise her process in order to submit whatever music it is that was that we now have, rather. It's really dope, and it's really something that needs to be commended as well, along with other things that I'm sure we haven't yet mentioned. But we love you, Missy.
Love you.
Classic, man. To me, she's a one of one. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody gonna be like her. There's never been anybody like her. You can't compare her to Queen Latifah or Cardi B's. Like, she's just in her lane. Much love to Missy Elliot, man. Like, one of one. But this is what you came for tonight, man. Even if you're watching it live tonight, or you watching the replay of this.
And this is why I came too. I ain't gonna lie.
We gotta go in and talk about Yazin Bey and that Talib Kweli Green.
Got to.
We gotta talk about this album, man.
Blackstar, baby.
Let's be clear. Blackstar, super rap duo, New York all day long. Let's represent, man. This album, No Fear of Time.
Wow.
First of all, the album. Wow. Let's just talk about it sonically first.
Wow.
A lot of cats want to go to a studio. I want to get the best mic. I want to get this. I want to get that, man. I got to have Dre on the beats. First of all, entirely produced by Madlib. Tip your cap to this dude and pop a bottle for this man. I don't care if it's 7 o'clock in the morning when you're watching this. Drink something for this man. Production, serious. But the whole thing, this whole album was recorded in hotel rooms, in non-traditional studios, and it still sounded wonderful, man. What was just your overall feel when you pop this album in, J Camp?
Yo,
wow!
First of all, I had to run this back so many times because I was missing so many gems that these dudes
bars.
The bars, first of all, was dumb. And like I said in the group chat, I can't think of another producer who could have blessed these dudes today more than Madlib. Maybe Black Milk, maybe Apollo Brown, and maybe the conductor who works with West Side Gun. Maybe those guys.
Maybe Ninth Wonder.
Madlib. Maybe
Ninth if you found some old Ninth. You know what I'm saying? Some of the old discs.
Yep.
Shout out to Mike 100. It is a classic in my opinion.
Shout out to Mike 100. It's definitely a classic in my opinion. It felt so good. This is like the yin to the Griselda Yang for me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed this. Like this, because I was such a Rockers fan back. I was a Rockers stan back in the days when they had Pharaoh,
Baby Grand, Rockers.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Whole Rockers group deserves a toast right
there. Exactly. The Smut Peddlers. You know, I was a fan. Yo, Mr. Eon Jones and Cage, them white dudes could rhyme, bro.
Raw the Rugged Man.
Hearing this album, and I got to say, on Black Thought on that Frequency has that verse of the year on it, bro.
Woo.
Like, they all came with it. Don't get me wrong. Mos Talib came with it, but Black Thought is just.
How many bars do you think was that verse, man?
Dog, he spit at least 40,
maybe 32 or somewhere around there.
At least between 32 and 40, he dropped in there.
Give or take.
Talib about the same. You know,
I think they all did.
On the Supreme Alchemy. first of all, the effect they put on Talib's voice on that Supreme Alchemy was that telephone effect.
Yeah.
Yo, he killed that. He killed that. And then
This album
Mos
was a
on that
true essence
OG.
of hip hop, though, too.
Yo,
Because
Go ahead, Iceberg. Go ahead.
it wasn't a label made album.
no,
They made it in their time. It wasn't on the best on the best microphones or condenser mics or preamps. This was pure hip hop, man.
pure hip hop, and it just
Pure
sound
hip-hop.
it sound like it came out of that time period. That's another thing that felt so good about it. Like
Yeah.
Mos and Talib didn't have to dumb down their flows on this production.
Nope.
That's
They
why I
sure
said
didn't.
Mad Lib
Nope,
was
nope,
probably
nope.
like one of the few dudes who could have really done this.
Yeah.
He brought, to me, Mad Lib helped recreate Blackstar. He brought Blackstar back out 24 years later with that production.
Yeah.
To hear Talib go stupid over them samples, because Talib has not had that type of production in a long time.
Really hasn't.
He hasn't. He
Yeah.
hasn't. And
Not
it brought
in, not in
out,
Succession. Right.
and that was like reflection eternal to Talib. Like, it was so great to hear that Talib come back out and to hear just some of the stuff that he was saying when he was like handing marching out like Dr. Lee and Drumline. You know what I'm saying?
He sound
On this Supreme
reinvigorated,
Alchemy.
like for real.
He
Like he didn't
sounded-
sound like the stale Talib from like 2005.
No. And of course, Mos is Mos. I mean, Mos is one of my favorite rappers of all time. too.
Mightiest. Yassine Bey.
But
Yes,
to
damn.
hear that,
that red mic.
reinvigorated Talib, it felt so good, man, to hear that, because Mos is gonna do Mos. I mean, Mos really ain't put out a bad album. I mean, Black on Both Sides, we know, is a 5-micer, and really,
Yep.
I mean, the third one is probably close to a 5-mic. It's 4.5 minimum. I mean, so to hear Mos too, just go back to the mightiest. It felt good, man. This is a 5-mic album, like Mike 100 said. It's a classic. It's my favorite album so far of this year, and there's a lot of good albums that's dropped. The Pusha, the Tana Talk 4 is dope. Fife Dog's album is dope. It's a lot of, it's a lot of great albums.
Hold that thought, Jet King. We're gonna go back in with you. Bebo P, what was your initial thoughts when you first put it in the deck?
Bruh, my initial thoughts was overall, this is without a shadow of a doubt a roll through album.
Oh,
you
my
agree,
God.
J Camp? You agree, J Camp?
I
absolutely.
1000% agree with J
Okay.
Camp. Mad Lib, let me just start with Mad Lib real quick. And this isn't, to say, put anybody in any particular order, but I want to give Mad Lib his flowers, for further cementing his stamp.
His stamp.
With such a classic project, regardless,
He did the same thing with
regarding
Freddie
production
Gibbs.
on this one, and basically was a classic album. The first classic Blackstar album was produced by High Tech.
Yep.
And in my mind, I'm thinking about that torch from a production standpoint being passed on to Mad Lib, and he did a job highly well done. So I want to preface and give Mad Lib, along with you brothers, his flowers for doing just an extraordinary, producing an extraordinary body of work. Let me say that
it sounded like the production on the classic album. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
It sounded very similar to that, which is crazy to me. So it sounded like Mad Lib, to your point, Bebo, was in the crates.
Yes.
And he went back and listened to a lot of the old Blackstar and Mos Def and Talib albums.
Yeah, and it's funny because with you saying that immediately had me thinking of Raekwon. When they did the Only Built for Cuban Link 2, when because RZA he entirely produced that first album, but
and
the
that second one was
produced by everybody. But all the producers, the Eric Sermons, the Alchemists, and RZA on a couple tracks or whatever, and so others did was they. Not RZA, of course, but like what they did was they went into that Cuban Link bag first, essentially. So they didn't just throw random beats that were dope.
That's respect.
They
to
went
the
into
MC.
the Cuban Link bag. So I think that's what, to your point, essentially, I think that's what Mad Lib did for Blackstar in his style, but for their benefit as well. So I do want to give that credit production wise. As far as, Talib Kweli and they just recorded a masterpiece of a high quality hip hop album. What's crazy in a dope way about it is it's it purposely has rough edges to it, emphasis on purposely, but it's done in a way to where you're still hearing it with a sense of high quality.
It sounds like one of your homeboys is like, yo, I got something, man. Let me, before I put it out, man, I want you to listen to it.
Right.
I was just about to say that. Same
it's almost like that furniture that you stain, that brand new smooth furniture, but
Yeah.
you purposely scratch it a little bit
To give it that weathered feel.
Yeah, to give it that weathered feel.
And this is the thing. Let me ask you this real quick. Being artists, being MCs, being lyricists, and you know how cats will give you beats. Do you think Madlib gave them like, here's 20 beats, or do you think he was like, here's one, here's two, here? How do you think this thing was crafted, in your opinion?
Oh, I think Madlib went in the bag. I think he actually told them, like, look, guys, let me do this album for y'all. Give me like a week.
Okay.
I promise you, I'm gonna bless you. And I think he went back into that bag, the old Blackstar bag, the Black on Both Sides bag, the Reflection Internal bag. I think he went into all those old albums and he just crafted his own, seasoning to it. Okay. And he just killed it. Like, he basically added 2022, like this sampling era of 2022. He added that to it.
Okay.
And it was just beautifully crafted, because I don't think he had beats like already made for this. Even though Madlib was a crazy producer, he's dope. He might have had one or two that he had for like Gibbs or somebody like that, Crime Apple, somebody like that. He might have had like one or two.
Right.
But I feel he has such a level of respect for Mos Def and for Talib, like we all do, that he wanted to do these guys justice. Because again, Blackstar these dudes are legends in rap, like in hip hop, and
without a shadow of a doubt,
they're supreme MCs. Like, you can't give a supreme MC no trash production. You can't. And Madlib wants he wants his legend to live on too. Like, this is big for him. This is a big nugget that he can put in his bag to say, look, guys, I got Blackstar, a classic album. Nobody can take that away.
In 24 years.
And after 24 years,
yep,
that's the major point. After 24 years, he's got a Blackstar.
It doesn't sound as there's no lag in those albums. Like
Zero.
I think J Camp said, it's tethered together.
It is.
Bebo P, same question, man. How do you think this album was crafted from Madlib standpoint to deferring those beats? Do you think he just gave it a bulk, or do you think he distributed it out over some time?
It could have been a mixture of all the above. I mean, I know that they didn't just, work on the album and finish it in like 1 or 2 months. This has been in the works for at least a few years or so. I don't know the exact number, but for that to take place, I'm sure that there was, again, just all we could do is speculate, because, I haven't really personally looked into the journey of Madlib with Blackstar, but the way that I envision it, since, I'm a producer, is, I could see myself going in my bag, but then like going back into filling gaps in order to make sure that, that post-production, like Iceberg has said to us in the past, in order to say, okay, that joint is dope. From a mindset of a producer, there's all these joints are dope, but there's 3 of these joints, or however many, is dope. But they're potentially dope. I just need to go back in on these potentially dope projects and maybe swap out this beat, even though it's dope, it doesn't fit as well maybe for the groove of the album, in order to make it sound fluid, in order for it to be the masterpiece that it needs to be. So none of us can really speak for Madlib. So brother, if you're watching this, we can't speak for you in your process. We're just,
But we can tell a lot of work went into it. We can tell a lot of work.
There you go. A lot of work went into this. I do know that this took at least a few years, maybe several years. I don't know the exact number, but for that to happen, and we receive an EP of an enriched album that I would argue is going to be like another classic. Along with Phife Dawg, because Jay can't beat me to it. That Forever by Phife. I gotta say,
somebody went in. They went in on that Phife and handcrafted the bull.
They did, and I'm gonna go back to this because I can't say this yet, but but I do feel like the Fife is a classic. I do.
No, it is
Blackout.
This classic. That
Yeah,
like, there's
I
no
do
doubt
feel
we
like
got to thoroughly go through that.
Feel like this Blackstar is a classic.
It's
And
definitely
I don't, and typically I'm the guy that waits at least, a few or several years before saying something like that. And this is a year where we're getting an album or at least a couple or a few albums with such enrichment. Shout out to J Camp too, because he put me on to a new school artist.
Red Veil.
Yeah, the Red Veil. And I haven't
heard all
of it,
that. He's a product of this.
He's a product of stuff like this. And I don't want to, just emphasize him on, this topic. But the point is, we're getting and shout out to Push It because he put out a strong project. He didn't put out a 5, but he put out a strong project. And it's
for what he's talking about in his topics is definitely up there. But this one right here is this right here is different.
This is like
this is different, and we need and the like culture needed this. I'm sorry, Jay.
No, I'm just gonna say this is like that expensive steakhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get this Blackstar album, you getting that good steak, bro. Like, it's not
you talking about that grass fed.
Yeah, it ain't the old Charlie's. Like, this is like 100% Angus.
Oh yeah.
Steak.
Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though. What do you, J Camp and Iceberg, feel? Or how do you guys feel about the rollout of the album?
You beat me to the question.
My bad, brother. My bad.
No.
Go ahead.
Perfect segue. Perfect. Go ahead, J Camp.
I love it. I love the rollout.
Tell us why.
Because these dudes are exclusive artists. I feel like when you put out something like this, it should be on an exclusive stage, exclusive platform. It shouldn't just be where everybody can cop it. Nah. You got to be a fan. It's almost like if you're a fan of Marvel movies, you can't watch one without going back to watch the others. You know what I'm saying? In order to understand it. This would make somebody go back and listen to them old Mos albums. Fact. Go back and listen to the old Blackstar albums. Go back and listen to Talib. We're just not going to put this on Apple Music. We're just not going to put this on Spotify. If you want to know who Blackstar is, go back and listen to it, then cop it. Because we know once you listen to Blackstar, the old Blackstar, you're going to want to cop this new-ish. And they don't disappoint with that. That's why I like exclusive releases like this. Because this makes me feel like I'm a part of the album because I really wanted to hear it.
So with that said, and I don't disagree with you, with that said though, in order to get access to the album, it's a paid subscription through Luminary. Yeah. So do you feel that most people out there, the consumers, are going to be willing, not necessarily just talking about the Blackstar hardcore Blackstar fans, but like others whose interest might be piqued or what piqued or somewhere along the line?
Let me answer this.
Okay, go ahead.
Most people going to bootleg it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Most people will bootleg it.
But to me, the fan will go and do the $3 holla, and then maybe do it for 2 months, and then get the subscription and remove the subscription. But to me, I think it's dope because number one, you're not using the man's platform.
Yes,
you're also subscribing. Now they're subscribing to your podcast, which is your voice every week or every the frequency of that. And I think what J Camp said, this is for the true hip hop heads to make it feel like it's exclusive without you pressing vinyl, without you burning CDs. It gives you exclusivity, and then also it gives you that story of, hey man, I do have those Jordan 1-of-1s, and I went out and copped them myself.
Exactly.
I waited in line for it.
It made me feel like I was a part of this album. Like when I copped it, it made me feel like I was a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like I was a part of the Blackstar.
It did make me feel like a part of it. Yeah.
When I copped that. And I understood, you know what I'm saying? Like hearing Talib rhyme over them samples, like I understood. Like it brought me back.
It did bring us back. Yeah. To the essence.
Yep. To the essence.
Like
bro.
you had to go cop it. You know what I'm saying?
You had to go cop it, and it made you want to just pick up your pen.
So with that being said, I gotta agree with you, brothers. Like, because this is of course, not the exact same, but a similar vein as what Nipsey Hussle did with the $100
mixtape.
Yeah, with the mailbox money.
Yeah. Yep. And then I think it was rumored or apparently he sold 1,000 copies of it, somewhere around about 1,000
he did.
copies. And then you got the West with the Donda 2 situation.
Yep.
Via the device.
The Donda player.
It is dope to see artists exercise options in order to see what's going to work best for them, for their benefit. But nonetheless, I do agree with you, brothers. Like, I think as long as you guys are doing what you guys are doing as Yassine Bey and Talib Kweli and artists of that like, or just artists, period, after you've been cemented in the game, however many years, regardless of whatever your current album does or doesn't do. And of course, we want the best. I'm sure, there should be other endeavors in addition to this that makes you successful, keeps you, keeps the fuel flowing, so to speak, keeps the engine flowing by way of the fuel, I should say. So, shout out to these brothers for exercising creativity in this album release and not just making it,
some diarrhea music.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got one question for both of y'all.
Okay.
Did y'all think this was going to be a classic after 24 years?
I thought it was possible. Yeah. Especially, with, of course, Blackstar being Blackstar.
We knew the bars was going to be serious.
And
we knew, of course, Madlib's going to come with it. The whole thing was the cohesiveness of the song.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
Yep.
Once I heard that
I know where you're going with this.
Was a part of this project. I knew then. I said,
I did too.
It's going to be a fucking classic.
I did too, and I think it was necessary. Going back thinking about the Cuban Link 2 album, where again RZA produced all of the first one, but the second one was a different approach, and that RZA was a part of it, but he wasn't the only part of it. So this was, the first one in the Blackstar album. The first one's high tech, and it's like, okay, we got to go a different direction because we're in a different time. There's different circumstances. Madlib's going to do this one. And again, it was that torch pass. And I think that was dope, not only just from the torch passing aspect, but from the sense of, hey, I respect their legacy, the legacy in Blackstar so much in that, hey, look, I'm not just going to just throw out beats for them to write to, just and then, we've just picked the best 4, 8 or whatever, but we're also going to make sure I'm going to make sure that I respect the overall legacy of not only currently what I do, but past legacy of what made them who they are.
And it sounded so natural. I got
two things real quick.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, y'all. Number one, this album we knew the album was going to be crispy. The biggest thing was it going to come out? And then where do I go to get it? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're dealing with the platforms, how are they going to roll it out and how much is it going to cost? To me, the cost was dope. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I think it was a dope idea. The other thing that I want to drop on it is with independent cats, old school hip hop boom bap cats. Do y'all feel like, last question, do y'all feel like this is going to be a motivator?
Oh yeah.
People to stop doing all this perfect music and just drop the music.
Well,
and then also get off of the Spotify, maybe do it yourself out the trunk.
I think it's going to be a motivator for guys in our era that we grew up peeping. Like, I want to make that clear because I want to separate our era from like the Jack Harlow era. You know what I'm saying? It's not a diss to Jack Harlow, but the record labels control that. But our music that we love, we now control it. So we know now we can do the basement rap again. It's okay to do basement rap.
Right.
It's cool to do
like radio records.
Yeah, it's cool to do that. It's cool not to be in a soundproof room. It's cool. Like, that's
as long
good.
as the quality's still there.
As long as the quality is still there.
Diddy or Dre or whatever you think the standard needs to be. As long as it's great quality, excellent quality, exquisite quality.
And I think
if you got a good mic and you have a good preamp coming in, and you at least got like some form of a upscale recorder, you know what I'm saying? Logic, Pro Tools, the window, you're good.
You good. And that's what I was saying. Like,
whatever.
That's all somebody who's hungry and wants to eat needs.
And shout out to the new school cats. J Camp talked about Cats of the Essence, which is our vibe, but shout out to the new school cats because they just go out there, they're go-getters too. You know what I'm saying? They put out, regardless of what we think about their music, you know, they put out high quality sounding music, you know, regardless of, I'm talking about the quality of the actual sound of whatever it is that cats
sonically
like
they're coming
like.
out with something. It may not be the best music, but
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It may not be
But
the best music,
yeah,
but
they're
sonically,
dropping consistently, and they're dropping more than the boom baps are, and that sometimes that's a problem.
exactly. And
It
that's why I
is.
want to make sure that I give some respect to the two cats that's on J. Cole's label
Go ahead.
that we talk about all the time. I need y'all to help me with their name though. The two cats that's on Cole's label, Earth Gang. That's why I want to
I
give
was just
Earth
about to
Gang,
mention them too. I was about to mention
Hey man,
them.
that Amen, I've been banging that Amen all week,
because
man.
I feel like they went back to the
They did
basement music.
And it's funny you say that because go ahead. No, go ahead, brother. I didn't want to.
No, I was just gonna say like it's a different sound than the Blackstar, but it goes back to the old Outkast sound, the original South.
It doesn't have to be, you know, particular like sound. It's just about just good, like just what Ye's music. Ye's label used to be called Good Music.
Good music. It's just good music, bro.
We don't care where it's from, east, west, north, south,
don't care where it's
Midwest,
from.
wherever. It just needs
you
to be
can rap and it
music.
sound good. You know what I'm saying?
And this is the thing.
I
think cats need to go into that Tory Lanez currency bag where you just drop a 3-pack, drop a 4-pack, drop a 1, drop a 2-pack, whatever you got to drop.
I think
it doesn't have to be a traditional album.
It doesn't have to be.
Keep on putting the music out.
It can be an EP, like LP.
It can be
good.
The other thing too is they weren't worried about no music video. They weren't worried about no marketing.
Right.
If the music is good, people gonna find you.
Right. And I think that's again with them being supreme level MCs, they knew people starving for this. People gonna cop this. We don't need to put on no video. We don't need to market this.
We sure don't.
At all. People gonna find it.
People will find
and
it.
Shout out to Nightmare, because Nightmare will be that dude who would find it. Nightmare will be that guy who would find this type of music.
Shout out to my brother Nightmare
and share it to everybody.
Yeah, he will.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, with just like with anything. So shout out to Nightmare. Peace to Nightmare.
Shout out to Nightmare.
The music, good music will find you.
Hey, for those who have an interest in Blackstar, in Yasin Bey, aka formerly known as Mos Def and Talib Kweli.
Earth Gang album is hard, Darren.
Oh yeah, it is hard. It's actually one of my favorites of the year.
That's one of my favorite albums of the year. It's that Push, and then this one right here, man, is just
and the Five, and maybe the Red Veil too.
The Red Veil is dope. If you ain't on Red Veil, please, America.
Cop that. But
check out that Red Veil.
Absolutely. But for those who haven't checked out the Yasin Bey, aka Mos Def and Talib Kweli, known as Blackstar album, produced entirely by Mad Lib, go ahead and check that out. If you don't know where to find that, look for a platform called Luminary. They do podcasting and just other stuff as well, I'm sure. So go ahead and type in Luminary in your favorite search engine, Google or whatever that may be, and chances are you're going to find it there. If you really want to support those brothers, go ahead and check them out. Blackstar, we love you guys as well. And that's all I got to, in a nutshell, that's what I have to say about the situation. Because
again, I go back to J Camp. I think this is probably as far if you're from my gen, this is one of the best albums of the year. And what's dope about it is it's not polished. It's almost the anti-Jack Harlow album. It's not polished, man. It's not a mint julep. You know what I'm saying?
It don't sound right.
On the rocks, bro.
Right. It's missing the ice cube. It's missing the big ice cube in the whiskey. That's what
the big ice cube and it missing the cube.
But it's still good.
It's missing
still good. You know,
at the end of the day, man, if you're an old school rapper, man, like a Black Moon or something like that, man, this is the blueprint of how you need to drop music. You know what I'm saying? Do your podcast so you're making your money on your podcast and people can hear what you're saying, what you got going on. Then put your album out where they got to subscribe to your podcast. I think that's a great move.
Right.
And then start touring, man. And don't worry about the music videos. Just drop the music.
Just drop the music. Everything else from there, however it needs to go. And Iceberg just ended off just right.
And if you got your own music, listeners, shoot it over to us. We'll listen to it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put an email and some links and DM us, man. Send us some music, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We got you.
Any thoughts before we get up out of here, man?
I just want to say shout out to Blackstar. It just felt so good hearing you brothers after 24 years. It sounded like y'all never left. That's the crazy part. It sounded like they never left. It's like they just picked off where they left off. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, man. I mean,
I do too.
As a fan of hip hop and as a fan of that genre of hip hop, felt good to hear it, man. It warmed my soul. It really did. So I just want to give a shout out to them. Shout out to Earth Gang too. Since we mentioned Earth Gang, they like my new cats that I rock with. You know what I'm saying? They've replaced, even though I would love to hear another Outkast album. I don't know when we're gonna get one again. But Earth Gang has filled that Outkast void for me. And they giving it to me. So I
would love to hear them do a record with either Big Boy 3000 or both.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
Bridge that gap.
Man, yeah.
That would be great. Would be great.
It really would. But I agree with Jake Camp. What's that, bro?
I said Iceberg is A&R right now. Can we get that Outkast Earth Gang album?
If y'all listening,
a song. We just need a song. That's it.
Just a song from ID with ID Buddy to A&R.
Mm-hmm. Just one song. That's it.
Just one joint. No, but shout out to you brothers, man. Shout out to LB the Podfather, who's not with us, but will be with us. He'll likely be with us this coming Wednesday. And I want to wish I want to wish Blackstar a salute, as well as condolences to the family and loved ones of Fife Dog and Jewel,
Samuels.
even Samuels, absolutely, definitely Kevin Samuels as well. Noel or Miss Judd. It starts with an N. It's just escaping.
Oh yeah, the Judd mother.
The mother of the Judd.
Yeah,
the Judd
Ashley
family.
Judd, and yeah.
It starts with an N.
I can't think of her name.
Naomi Judd.
Yeah, Naomi. There you go.
Naomi Judd.
Yeah.
My apologies.
They represent KY heavy.
Yep.
They do. They do.
See,
we're not just limited to just hip hop and R&B. We see what's going on in the other sectors of music as well. So we definitely want to give our respects and to everybody out there. And we definitely at Fresh Out want to wish all the mothers that are truly doing the right thing by their children, families, and just people overall a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. Please enjoy it with positivity and as safe as can be. It's our wish that you all enjoy it with the right messaging, the right actions, the right everything. Because over the last couple of days, based off of the first topic we just talked about, we've been seeing a lot of things, a lot of messaging that's just not respectful whatsoever. So we just want everybody to just exercise positivity for those who you love. So, for those who you might not like, and that's just totally fine. That's totally fine. Whoever that may be.
Right.
But that's no reason to disrespect anybody who has been a contributor to society as a whole.
Salute.
And or Black society. So we just want nonetheless, we just want all just everybody out there to have a wonderful Mother's Day.
Oh, that's Redveil, Darren. That's Redveil. Redveil. That's the name of the artist.
Dope artist.
I gotta get on that too. I ain't heard it yet either, man. I gotta get on that too.
He just dropped an album not too long ago.
Yes.
And now I'm trying to think of the actual name of the album he dropped. And I feel stupid for not knowing that right now.
No, you're good, man. I'm good. You're good. I'm sure he could find it from there, but it's all good. Just YouTube the joint or however you got to look for him. Peace to Red Veil too. You know what I'm saying? Because you did your daggone thing. But nonetheless, man, we just want to wish all of them, like women out there and the ladies who really have sacrificed.
Oh, it's the Learn to Swim album. That's the name of it. Learn to Swim. Yeah.
There you go.
Learn, number 2, and then swim. And that's the joint we was actually talking about.
All day. No, that was, essentially it. I just want to wish all the ladies, women out there a happy Mother's Day and Mother's Day weekend, those who truly deserve it. And just continue to press forward in the fashion of progression and overall forward movement, because we just want the best for We just want the best for people just people in general. We just want the best for everybody, you know. So God bless you all. And you know, I'll end it right there.
Yeah, like I said, shout out to number one, J Kent, LB the Podfather, BOP. You know how we get down. Our other brother, Hip Hop VCR. Our other brother, Trick. You know how we ain't forgot about you, get the Trick. You know what I'm saying? Get it told you, Trick. When we come in town,
We ain't forgot about you, brother.
Yeah,
we ain't forgot about
Darren,
you, brother.
We ain't forgot about Trick.
You
know what I'm saying? Mike 100. You know all the dudes. Devon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to real quick, if I may. Shout out for Ice. Shout out to Joe Cleasy and Big Les too.
Let's go, man. Yeah. New hit.
The
real rap city, the real rap city, the new rap city, man. We got a link.
Yeah, right? The old rap, the former rap city meets the new rap city.
There you go.
Got to sync up.
Holla at us. We definitely want you both on here. And shout out to Big Tigger too. We ain't forget.
We got to holla Tig too, man. Shout out to Tig.
Big Tig, boy. All y'all, all three of y'all.
But seriously, man, on this weekend, man, it's kind of crazy with Kevin passing and having the issues that some women from our culture have with him. This is a time to do some healing and talking, because with the rhetoric that I've been seeing,
come to the table.
Can you really blame him for what he was saying if that's how you act? You know what I'm saying? When somebody dies from our culture, regardless if you don't see eye to eye. So again, let's take the time of this weekend or the rest of this year, man, to start, basically coming to the table and basically getting back to putting our families first, figuring out where our money's coming from and where we can put it at, and also ownership. This is what the whole Blackstar thing, in my opinion, was about. Not only great music, but ownership. They're getting 100% of every dollar that they're getting off that album.
And creative control,
small or big it is. I'm sorry.
And creative control, like
Jay creative control. So, again, don't be a Jack Harlow where you can't control your own content.
Facts. Like, so you have to work. You have to work your ass off to get off the label.
Say that again, real quick, J Camp. Regardless of what
you got to be able to control your own content.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to.
At the end of the day, man,
be your own artist.
We're going back to ownership, but it starts with our family of dynamics first, because if you don't understand family, how can you ever do business with somebody without looking over your shoulder, honey? So at the end of the day, as black men, we just got to basically do our thing. Again, this is a platform built off of 20 plus years of friendship, brotherhood, and we're not going to see eye to eye. We're going to yell at each other. We're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, man, it's brotherhood, ownership, and doing our thing. So again, man, J Kemp, LB the Podfather, BOP, Iceberg Slim, you know how we do, man. Again, go to the website, hit that champion joint, you know what I'm saying? And again, man, another great weekend, man. Hey, every Saturday, bring your bourbon, you know what I'm saying? Bring your bourbon every Saturday. That's the new thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So
don't let this get y'all caught up either, or things like
be at the house.
Because you see how disciplined we are, right?
I'm tapped out.
Y'all be tactful and y'all just be safe out there. Ain't nothing wrong with having a little fun or whatever y'all got to do, but be safe. And Iceberg, send us home, brother, or whoever.
We out, man. Peace.
We love y'all. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hold up. You're now listening to Fresh Out, the world's most dangerous music podcast on the OMG